But really what's happened is that we're moving into a new normal, and people are afraid of what it might be. And they're upset by the uncertainty that is out there. There's a question, and the question is, why should we fear the new normal? It actually plays to Minnesota's strength. In the new normal, future economic growth is going to depend upon productivity and less on labor force size. That's our game. That's how we've succeeded in the past. In the 1960s, Minnesota was 25th among all states in per capita personal income. We had about per capita personal income of about 95% of the U.S. average. In 2008, we were 11th. We were at 107% of the U.S. average. It's not because our population and our labor force grew so fast, grew faster than everyone else's. It's because our workers were more productivity. And education really is a key for that productivity. It's important for you as leaders to remember that productivity increases in the future will depend upon the decisions and the investments that we make now. And it's also very important to remember that public sector productivity growth will be essential as well. Now, even up here on the stage, I can see people's eyes begin to glaze over when I talk about productivity. People think, yeah, what he's talking about is bigger, faster, fancier, new machines that put people out of work. And what I'm here to tell you is that the most important part of productivity doesn't have anything to do with bigger, faster, fancier, new machines. Productivity is not just producing at a lower cost. Productivity, and particularly productivity in the public sector, also means making things better, improved quality of the services that are provided, and making better things, new products and new innovations. It's not just the for-profits that have to be concerned about productivity. Productivity is important for nonprofits as well. For nonprofits, it seems that we have to focus on making things better, on the quality. Traditionally, cost-cutting efforts have focused on transactional jobs, the jobs that can be easily scripted, the jobs that can be automated. That's not where the benefits are. That's not where the benefits are going to be. The largest productivity gains and the jobs of the future will involve decision-making, and the largest productivity gains are likely to come from investments that lead to better outcome, lower lifetime health care costs, reduced recidivism rates, improved graduation rates. Unfortunately, this may require some short-term investments in order to reach those productivity goals. They may not actually save money at the same time. So that means there's going to have to be reallocation within budgets as well as just getting more money. The forces for change are strongest in times of economic stress. Creative destruction, disruptive innovation apply to nonprofits as well as to the private sector. And let me tell you, there are going to be losers as well as winners in this. But the task is important. If we don't make the necessary public sector investments in human capital and research and infrastructure, then we won't have the productivity gains needed to allow us to afford to make those investments in the future. We're in a challenging time. You have a challenging responsibility. We're clearly not in a sustainable situation. If you think that $3 billion budget shortfall, a 10% budget shortfall is a sustainable situation, you're sadly mistaken. So if we're in a sustainable situation, what can we do? What can we expect? Herb Stein, President Nixon's former chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors, had this to say about unsustainable situations. Now, you know, the problem with this is that this is a little depressing. And so I always like to end on a little higher note, and the little higher note is a comment by Winston Churchill. And Winston Churchill had a statement where he said, you know, you can always rely on the American people to make the right choice after they've exhausted all other alternatives. Well, the other alternatives are pretty well exhausted. And if we're going to be successful looking on out into the future, we really need to follow the rule of the great Canadian philosopher, Wayne Gretzky, who says, I skate to where the puck will be, not to where it has been. That's what we've got to be thinking about, is where's the puck going to be? Now, I'm supposed to say, now we are going to hear some perspectives from other leaders, and there's going to be a video here.